Hello everyone, welcome to this series on the history of English literature. And in this video, we are going to discuss French and Russian influence on the realist modern novel. Introduction. The late 19th and early 20th centuries, often referred to as the modern age, marked a significant transformation in English literature. This period was profoundly influenced by French and Russian novelists who introduced new techniques and thematic concerns, reshaping the landscape of the English novel and short story. Authors such as Gustave Flaubert, the brothers de Goncourt, Émile Zola, Guy de Maupassant, Honore de Balzac, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Ivan Turgenev, and Leo Tolstoy played pivotal roles in this literary evolution. Their emphasis on realist portrayal, psychological depth, and social commentary provided English writers with fresh perspectives and methodologies. Additionally, the burgeoning popularity of the short story during this era further exemplified the cross-cultural influences that enriched English literature. French influences, precision and artistic conception. Gustave Flaubert and the pursuit of realism. Gustave Flaubert, 1821 to 1880, is often hailed as a master of realistic fiction. His meticulous attention to detail and commitment to le mot juste, which means the exact word, set a high standard for literary precision. Flaubert's seminal work, Madame Bovary, 1856, exemplifies his dedication to portraying the mundane aspects of everyday life with photographic accuracy. This emphasis on detailed, unembellished narrative influenced English novelists to adopt a more disciplined and structured approach to storytelling. The brothers de Goncourt, artistic innovation. Jules de Goncourt, 1830 to 1870, and Edmond de Goncourt, 1822 to 1896, collectively known as the de Goncourt brothers, further advanced the realist tradition. Their collaborative works, including Les Rosiers de Madame Desnoyers, 1869, showcased an intricate balance of narrative complexity and stylistic refinement. The brothers emphasized the importance of artistic elements such as structure, pattern, and stylistic consistency, encouraging English writers to view the novel as a sophisticated art form rather than mere entertainment. Émile Zola and naturalism. Émile Zola, 1840 to 1902, introduced the principles of naturalism to French literature, which heavily influenced English authors. Zola's commitment to scientific objectivity and his focus on the deterministic aspects of human behavior can be seen in his Rougon-Macquart series, including Germinal, 1885. English novelists drew inspiration from Zola's methodical approach to depicting social conditions and his exploration of the influence of environment and heredity on individuals. Guy de Maupassant, master of the short story. Guy de Maupassant, 1850 to 1893, was a prolific writer whose mastery of the short story genre left a lasting impact on English literature. Maupassant's stories, characterized by their concise narrative style and sharp social critique, demonstrated how brevity and precision could effectively convey complex themes. English short story writers adopted Maupassant's techniques, enriching the literary quality and thematic depth of their works. Honore de Balzac, comprehensive social realism. Honore de Balzac, 1799 to 1850, though preceding the modern age, laid the groundwork for comprehensive social realism with his extensive La Comédie Humaine. Balzac's intricate depiction of French society, its various classes, and the interplay of economic forces provided a model for English novelists to explore similar social dynamics within their own contexts. Russian influences, psychological depth and moral complexity. Fyodor Dostoevsky, exploring the human psyche. Fyodor Dostoevsky, 1821 to 1881, is renowned for his profound exploration of human psychology and modern dilemmas. Novels such as Crime and Punishment, 1866, and The Brothers Karamazov, 1880, delve into the complexities of the human condition, addressing themes of guilt, redemption, and the struggle between good and evil. English novelists were inspired by Dostoevsky's ability to portray the inner turmoil of his characters, integrating psychological realism into their narratives. Ivan Turgenev, Social Critique and Emotional Nuance. Ivan Turgenev, 1818 to 1883, contributed to the realist movement with his focus on social critique and emotional nuance. His novel Fathers and Sons, 1862, introduced the concept of nihilism to English readers, highlighting generational conflicts and ideological shifts. Turgenev's nuanced characterizations and his exploration of societal changes encouraged English writers to incorporate subtle social critiques and emotional depth into their own works. Leo Tolstoy, Epic Realism and Ethical Inquiry. Leo Tolstoy, 1820 to 1910, brought epic realism and ethical inquiry to Russian literature, profoundly influencing English novelists. War and Peace, 1869, and Anna Karenina, 1877, are masterpieces that combine detailed historical narratives with deep moral and philosophical questions. Tolstoy's ability to weave personal stories with broader societal issues inspired English authors to adopt a more holistic approach to storytelling, balancing individual experiences with larger social contexts. The growing popularity of the short story. English adaptation of French and Russian techniques. The influence of French and Russian novelists extended to the realm of the short story, which gained immense popularity during the modern age. English writers such as Thomas Hardy, Arnold Bennett, Joseph Conrad, Edward Gissing, Rudyard Kipling, H.G. Wells, and Henry James embraced the short story form, incorporating realist techniques and social commentary into their narratives. Notable short story writers. Henry James, often regarded as the greatest English short story writer, Henry James, 1843 to 1916, mastered the art of psychological realism and intricate character development in stories like The Turn of the Screw, 1898. Mark Rutherford, William Hale White. Known for the autobiography of Mark Rutherford, 1881, and the revolutions in Tanner's Lane, 1887, Rutherford explored themes of personal morality and social responsibility. Hubbard Krakenthorpe. His stories delved into social issues with a focus on ethical dilemmas and human behavior. Frederick Wedmore crafted narratives that combined realistic detail with moral questioning. William Pettridge, known for his engaging and socially conscious short stories. A. St. John Adcock explored themes of social justice and personal conflict. William Payne wrote stories that highlighted the everyday struggles of ordinary people. W. W. Jacobs, best known for The Monkey's Paw, 1902, Jacobs combined realism with elements of horror and the supernatural. Oliver Onions, his stories such as Little Devil Doubt, 1909, blended realistic detail with suspense. James Stephens focused on Irish social issues and folklore. R.B. Cunningham Graham explored themes of identity and social change. Marmaduke Pickthall, known for incorporating cultural and social themes into his stories. Saki, Wit and Social Satire. Hector Hugh Munro known by his pen name Saki, 1870 to 1916, greatly influenced future generations with his epigrammatic and satirical short stories. Saki's work, including Reginald 1904, The Chronicles of Clovis 1911, and Beasts and Super Beasts 1914, targeted the pretentiousness and authoritarianism of the elderly upper middle classes of the Edwardian era. His sharp wit and dark humor prefigured modern black comedy, making his stories both entertaining and socially incisive. The short story in Detection and Supernatural. Tales of Detection. The establishment of the private detective by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in Sherlock Holmes stories inspired a proliferation of detective fiction. Authors swiftly created numerous mysteries and salutes, expanding the genre's popularity and complexity. Supernatural and occult stories. Montague Rhodes James, 1862 to 1936, Provost of Eton and Vice-Chancellor of Cambridge University, made significant contributions to supernatural fiction with his Ghost Stories of an Antiquary, 1904 and 1911. His works are celebrated for their atmospheric tension and psychological depth. Algernon Blackwood, 1869 to 1951, further enriched the supernatural genre with stories like John Silence, 1908, and Tales of the Uncanny and Supernatural, 1949. Blackwood's exploration of the occult and the uncanny influenced many writers, blending realism with eerie and otherworldly elements. Conclusion. The realist novel and short story of the modern age were profoundly shaped by French and Russian literary influences. Authors like Flaubert, des Goncourt brothers, Zola, Maupassant, Balzac, Dostoevsky, Turgenev, and Tolstoy introduced English writers to the principles of detailed realism, psychological depth, and social critique. These influences led to a more accurate portrayal of everyday life, a refined conception of the novel as an art form, and an exploration of the darker aspects of human nature. Simultaneously, the short story flourished as a popular and versatile literary form, benefiting from the realist techniques and thematic concerns introduced by foreign writers. Figures like Henry James, Saki, and various other English short story writers harnessed these influences to create compelling narratives that addressed social issues, moral dilemmas, and the supernatural. The legacy of these French and Russian influences is evident in the continued importance of realism and social purpose in modern English literature, affirming the novels and the short stories' roles as critical instruments for intellectual and social discourse. So this was the discussion on French and Russian influences on the novel of modern age. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.